Basically, to summarize, it's a 2-year-old nonverbal student is having tantrums to get what he wants. Totally understandable. Most 2-year-olds, regardless of autism or not, typically have tantrums to get what they want, right? Those terrible twos. It's that transition point between, not talking and talking, and not understanding that words get them what they want and crying no longer does. It's really tough. She said that, she's doing programming right now in the home, loves the iPad, loves Peppa Pig, loves a bunch of that stuff. He was able to sit for about 15 minutes and do some iPad requesting, etc. And then after about 15 minutes, he just seemed done. He got up and he was running around and he was grabbing things throughout the house. I guess the question is, number one, do you try and get him back to task? Do you, what should you do when he starts with the tantrums? Home's not always conducive to therapy. Should you try and train the mom first to remove reinforcers? What should you do? And, this is a situation that we come across a lot. We do a lot of really early intensive intervention, and it's very common. So, you walk into a house, or I'll walk into a house, and, there's toys everywhere. And you're like, okay, so I'm trying to get this kid to man, and all he wants is like the toys that, I try and take some toys, and he's like, no problem. I've got toys over here. I can just go to those instead. Try and block those toys so that you can pair yourself with reinforcement. He goes somewhere else. So you're not pairing yourself with reinforcement. You're basically the blocker of good things. And that can be really tough. So, in terms of what you can do there, yes, number one, absolutely talk to mom about that satiation deprivation piece and seeing if mom, dad can put away toys, put them in containers, put them up on a shelf, just really giving you a few key toys at a time. Also looking at toys that you can take away or give more of. So for instance,
Bubbles.
An iPad, I was just saying, an iPad is tough because as soon as you, press on that YouTube link, as soon as you have to press pause and have to take it away, you're the taker away of things, and that's not cool either, right? But bubbles, they disappear and they want more. Drinks of some kind, juice, you can give just a little bit, and then they want more. What else did you say? I was going to say marbles. You throw them down around the around the run. I already said bubbles.
Oh.
So things like that. Look at those toys. Look at those toys.
Do them again.
Do them again. I have a kiddo right now who loves Peppa as well, and we're giving her Peppa Pig, but we give more and more. So she's playing with one, we give her another one and another one. We've printed out a bunch of just icons from Google. She seems to like flashcards and pictures, so we just keep giving her more Peppa Pig, and we're not taking any away until she puts them down. That helps. The other thing that to think about is a 2-year-old. I don't know if you've ever worked with a typically developing 2-year-old, but I was actually going to congratulate you for having the kiddo work for 15 minutes. That's amazing. Most 2-year-olds, that doesn't happen. You may want to look at time, and if he can sit for 15 minutes, that's amazing. My suggestion is have him sit for 10, just to set yourself up for success. So have him sit for 10 and then let him go. So it's on your terms, and then have him go somewhere, play. Maybe you play in a different area. It's not so much that he gets a break from you, but you're just not giving any demand at that point in time.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I'd also say all of the above. Could you potentially, I'm not sure why the home is not conducive to therapy, so maybe you can clarify, but if it's just a matter of the toys being out, could you go to a different room? And that's where you're not working in the playroom, but maybe you go to a different room and then you bring the toys. So if you're the one that brings all the toys there and you bring new toys or special toys, and they're not just what he has access to at home, then sometimes that works to be a little bit more reinforcing. Definitely explaining to mom about why you're doing that and what the process is and her willingness to buy into that. And then in terms of the getting back on tasks, I think the antecedent stuff would be really great, and working for a little bit less and having that be a break. And then let's say you decided for 10 minutes, and at minute 6, he's still getting up and running and trying to grab things. I'd get him back on task and maybe teach some sort of FCT, getting him to tell you that he wants a toy, turn it into some sort of, manned modeling, or telling you that he wants a break, or telling you that he wants something, so that instead of, because he is only 2, instead of getting him back on task, just model that language. Do some sort of error correction, have him ask for it independently, and then turn it into more of a managing session, as opposed to bringing him back to the table, because that could be quite aversive.
think about too just the FCT, what type of FCT you're looking for, right? So I'm not sure if you said he's requesting for the iPad or he's requesting on the iPad, meaning you're using some kind of augmentative communication. What about even just requesting with a point? So he's completely nonverbal. If he's giving you some vocalizations, great, continue with that. If he's not, what about just requesting with a point or requesting with eye contact or having to give back to you, give something to you, etc. Those are all different things that you can look at as well. Feel free